welcome to the highlights. The first day, an unmitigated triumph so far as the England batsmen were concerned, in exactly the same way as things happened at Lord's. The scorecard at the close of play on the first day, 322 for 3. Gooch 116, Atherton 131, Gower 38, Lamb 20, and Russell, who surprised me by coming out as night watchman, unbeaten on 7. It was a good light yesterday afternoon, and the pitch was fine, situation good. I rather thought Robin Smith might have come out. At any rate, it was Lamb and Russell to resume on the second morning at 322 for 3. The pace bowlers took 2 of the wickets, the other one taken by Hiwani, and it's Hiwani we join now coming in from the Warwick Road end. It's the second over of the morning. 2 runs have been added. Russell is taking strike.
There's a huge shout, and that's out. Complete misjudgment by Russell there. Full marks to Hiwani. Disappointed Russell goes, and that's a good start for India. In fact, Russell there, going for the lap to 1 wide and caught at the wicket. Good bowling by Hiwani. New batsman Robin Smith. 2 close catches, the slip in short leg, and 5 men saving the single. Oh, my word, what sort of bounce was that? It's laughable in a way, but from nowhere that nearly took his head off. Well, it's 4 runs. They're wearing shin pads, but they would have been useless there. Just look at this one take off. Well, that was short, but even then it didn't bounce, and Smith really had to get down to play that shot, and he watched it all the way onto the bat. The fine shot. Shastri to Lamb. That's his favourite square cut. Although there's only 20 yards to run for the sweeper, there was no chance.
That's full toss. In between mid-wicket and cover, 4 runs to Robin Smith. But small leg spin, it's Kumble now. Anil Kumble, playing his first test match. That's out. It's all paid off. And for Anil Kumble, it's a first test match wicket. Sanjay Manjrekar took a lovely reflex catch of the bat of Alan Lamb in that silly point position. It looks so simple. Manjrekar was crouching just a few yards in front of him. He popped it straight into his hands.
Yes, there's no back pad or anything there, just straight off the bat, straight into the short fielder's hands. Not a very good defensive shot, really. Just pushed at it a little bit too hard, and straight for comfortable catch.
But it'll pick 4 runs up for Robin Smith. Just going back to Kumble and his bowling style. As he comes in there, he has a good quick arm action. He's almost through Robin Smith. The welcome relief to John Morris.
Having brought an extra fielder in front of the batsman, Hiwani now drifts on the leg side and is swept promptly away for boundary.
That, I can assure you, was a lovely piece of bowling. The quicker top spinner that has zipped through, and when you take into account how slow this pitch is and the lack of pace in it, that was a really beautiful piece of bowling. John Morris is the man gone, beaten by the craft of Anil Kumble for 13.
You said it, Richie. The quicker one, which Morris didn't pick at all, and it even came back. The top spinner, Holden middle stump. Very, very intelligent bowling by Anil Kumble. Now he has 2 test wickets under his belt.
Chris Lewis is the new batsman. That's the way the scorecard is, 392 for 6. That's a terrific effort from India this morning. There's that top spinner again. And Lewis in the end played it pretty well, but he needed to have his bat coming through very quickly.
Yes, a similar type of delivery that got John Morris earlier on. This one was slightly outside the off stump, and Lewis did very well to come down on it.
Different sort of innings for Smith. So often in the past he's had to deal with extreme pace and seam, but look at that for a shot. That was good footwork and timing superb.
Yes, the important thing about Robin Smith, he has made runs against different attacks. He's made them against the quick bouncy ones of the West Indies, and he's made runs against the slower spinners of India.
Well, that was really a victory for the bowler rather than the batsman. That's the 400 up. But all Lewis was doing was pushing forward. Oh dear, brilliantly bowled. Absolute classic delivery, and Lewis really has been in trouble all the way through. That was a lovely delivery, pitching around middle and leg, clipping the top of off stump, and unless your footwork is absolutely spot on, a batsman's got no chance against that. So that really tops the morning off for India.
I mean, really, there was no foot movement there. Look at the foot movement. That front foot is still on the popping crease. And that was really just a straightforward defensive shot with the foot going forward. He would have played the ball without any trouble at all. But he goes forward a bit, comes back, and both feet on the popping crease. Absolutely lack of the basic forward defensive shot. The new batsman, Eddie Hemmings, he'll be interested to see how this pitch is playing, because I think he's going to get a lot of overs in this match.
That's 4 runs just before lunch or not, and Hemmings is well, he received a terrific welcome when he walked in. I'd have waited for some sort of applause to give to an England batsman this morning, and Hemmings has just got it.
That was a good shot. He was pitching outside leg stump. He played the shot perfectly, controlled it with the right hand look, the bat going down, keeping the ball down. Nothing a spinner likes better than to give a bit of stick to another spinner.
Kapildev's the fielder. He's managed to cut off 3 sweeps, but not that one, which was hit right off the meat of the bat.
Pitched on the leg stump and hit uppishly, but square this time. Kapil is slightly finer.
.50 for Robin Smith. Not one of his most fluent innings, but a good one nonetheless.
Oh, that must be out, and it is. Not really the one to sweep. Jack Hampshire has the final say. Hemmings goes. A good little innings of 19. Perhaps he could have done with a few more, but 434 now for 8. And Robin Smith in danger of running out of time and partners. He's on 52.
Yeah, we see the dismissal again. Just drifting a little bit, pitching about middle and going on, hitting that back leg behind the front leg. Probably about off stump.
Robin Smith looking for his new partner. That's Fraser.
New bowler is Prabhakar.
Oh, now he's starting to play. He's got to do it. The crowd will love this.
Well, there are not many more positive players than Robin Smith. A very powerful man. Describe that as brutal, really.
Kumble in bright sunshine now. Well, there's an appeal for all sorts there. Catch, LBW, and Angus Fraser solves the problem for umpire Holder by striding off the field. For 34 minutes, Angus Fraser was there frustrating the Indians with a slanting bat and the forward defensive prod. And at last, this is how it happened. Ball taking an inside edge, I think, and going back off the pad to Tendulkar. 4:59 for 9. Well, the quicker leg spinner, I think he might manage, but the moment it's twisted and floated up into the sky, I think something will have to go. Either Hirwani or Malcolm. There it goes. Not far, but it goes. Just a couple of runs over cover. That's a lovely shot. And that's why Robin Smith needs to be facing the bowling. That's a good shot. Beautifully placed. Exactly what Robin Smith was trying to do.
Came down the track beautifully and hit it straight as an arrow. Perfectly placed between the two fielders at long off and long on.
There's the wrong one. He's got inside it and hit it away over extra cover. That's a lovely shot. Is it the wrong one? Just so he bent his wrist a tremendous amount.
Yeah, giving himself a little bit of room there, Robin Smith, and he's such a powerful player in a situation like this that with a quick outfield it's nearly impossible to stop him hitting the odd boundary.
Prabhakar now. Now he can take the single. That's a very good shot. .99 not out. Or he can pick up the 100. That's well played by Robin Smith and very well played by Devon Malcolm. Excellent supporting role there from the fast bowler to enable Robin Smith to reach his century. Once again, Smith is giving him the instruction to play carefully. Ravi Shastri comes in now to replace Anil Kumble. That's over extra cover. The left-arm spinner lends himself to that sort of treatment. The batsman's good enough to make a little bit of room for himself. Yeah, manager and the two players have been joined by Ted Dexter, the head of the England committee. And that's the end of it. That's 121 not out for Robin Smith. And just as important, a 60-run partnership for the last wicket between Smith and Devon Malcolm. Yes, that was a splendid partnership between Smith and Malcolm. They added 60, and it took England up to 519. One of Smith's better innings. He was never quite able to get the spinners away early on. Then he had to shepherd the later batsman. 519, and the bowling figures for the Indian side dominated by the spinners. 3 for Kumble and 4 for Hiwani. Hiwani bowled 38 overs straight yesterday and today from that Warwick Road end. In all, 62 overs, 10 maidens, 4 for 174. They both bowled well, but having said that, the England batsmen were just a little bit too good for them in getting past the 500 mark. So that was an excellent effort, and one that the Indian batsmen must have looked at askance. Sidhu and Shastri were doing quite a bit of work in the field, and they had a long haul before they could say they had reached the cut-off point for the follow-on. We join play now in the second over. 11 runs already on the board, and Fraser is the bowler. He's coming in to bowl to Sidhu.
That was a good shot. No need to run for that. First boundary of the innings, and it was a nicely timed shot through a yawning gap there at mid-on.
It's a nice short delivery, and Sidhu got right on top of it.
Well, that might be out had he really got hold of it, or had Lewis realised he hadn't got hold of it. And a combination of the two things had one of the best fielders in the side back on his heels.
Short ball from Malcolm, attempted bouncer. Sidhu didn't really get on top of it. The ball didn't really come on as quickly as it should have.
Oh, well, that came back and kept low. Now, even on a slow pitch, that's a very difficult ball for an opener to face.
And particularly if the bowler is as quick as Malcolm. And if the ball does keep low.
Now that is a brilliant catch, because he realised that it almost got out of his reach, and he very carefully knocked it up and then grabbed it again. That will be vividly shown on the replay. Shastri is the non-striker, Sidhu the man dismissed. And a wonderful piece of work from Gooch. Just watch the clever way in which he knocks it up. It was a very sensible piece of cricket that has brought Sanjay Manjrekar into the centre. He's 6 for 1. Sidhu caught Gooch bowled Fraser 13.
It's caught him. A second catch for Graham Gooch. Strange dismissal. Ravi Shastri almost angled the bat out that way. Invaluable wicket for England, because here's a man going who could have got 100. Instead he goes for 25 and the score 48 for 2.
It's a pity Shastri's out. He'd done all the hard work. And here you see him pushing outside the off stump to a ball he could have left well alone. But I think it's this shuffle of his which is getting him to play at those deliveries outside the off stump. It's a fine low catch by Graham Gooch.
Dilip Vengsarkar is the new batsman. And that's the one that got away. Not a catch. Outside edge. Bit of fortune there for Vengsarkar.
This Fraser's bowling really well, probing that off stump constantly. And Vengsarkar also opened the face of his bat. The ball fell well short of Atherton and moved away from Atherton, so Atherton wasn't able to stop that.
He's gone, he's bowled. Beautifully bowled by Angus Fraser, his third wicket. Dilip Vengsarkar just couldn't get the bat out of the way then.
It was a beauty of a delivery, pitching on the off stump and moving just a little bit away, and it also bounced a bit, and Dilip Vengsarkar managed to get a tickle. Very, very good delivery there.
And what a responsibility now for Mohammad Azharuddin.
That was a good shot. Even Lewis will struggle for that. In fact, the boundary board's struggling as well, and Lewis himself might be. Now, he could well have hurt himself there.
Yeah, that was a good shot. A lovely timed shot, just finding the gap. Really, it is a bit silly to go crashing into these boards to such an extent. If you break a leg or something silly like that, you've got to give over that yard before the rope.
Well, another good piece of bowling from Fraser. He's caused problems to everybody. It was a fairly thick edge, and it's still gone for 4.
Again, he's got that little bit of extra bounce. It's short of the length, but means such a tall man just get that bit of extra bounce. But Mandrake managing to keep it down and wide of the slips there.
Well, that'll be worth looking at. Mandraker is showing himself to be a good judge around off stump.
Well, you certainly have to be when you're playing at Fraser, but that was an incredible delivery, really. It seemed out, but then looked to swing back after it had gone past.
Says Eddie, but no, says umpire Holder.
It was well worth a shout. There wasn't much turn there. Mandrake coming forward, and that ball pitched just about off stump. Got to be somewhere near.
No more alarms and no more runs in that over, leaving India 77 for 3 at the close of play on the second day. The batsmen out: Shastri 25, Sidhu 13 and Vengsarkar 6. And 3 wickets to Fraser. A terrific performance from him. Magnificent bowling figures on a dead flat track. 13 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 45. Well, there's no doubt Devon Malcolm deserves special commendation for what he did today. He's not a batsman, but he stuck around with Robin Smith for a long time. But the heroes of the day, definitely Robin Smith and Angus Fraser.